Here we go again.
So
It's all dark now. Oh, that's better.
yeah, we're back. I don't know if anybody will figure it out, but that we had to start a new one. Um, Comcast is trying to silence us from spreading our conspiracy theories. Apparently, they're trying to crack down on conspiracy theories.
Flat Earth, yo.
At least our conspiracy theories are unique and not just the CIA generated conspiracy theories. We got one person back.
Hi, one person.
We got two. That's all we had to begin with, so we're good.
Right on.
Hey, Melissa.
Hi.
I don't know. I guess we were being silenced previously. The internet went down, but apparently it's back up. I don't know. So
we're not even in California.
I know. We haven't even had our lights turned off. Actually, I'm running this computer off of the van power.
Right on.
So, I'm going to have to go across the street again tonight.
Hey, Toots.
Hey.
I thought it was funny how my grandma was watching Rachel Maddow.
Oh, God.
And they made a point of saying, in Grass Valley, there was a run on batteries and flashlights. That's the town I grew up in Grass Valley.
We should talk about that, too. So,
it's pretty funny.
Like I was trying to say previously is, for the first time in our lifetimes, we have a Congress unified against the president. Completely. And watch where you're stepping down there. And I'm thinking, what if this is exactly what Trump wants? What if he has me fooled and all of us fooled into thinking he's just some idiot that's just doing shit at random and like just being a moron and stuff.
Sitting in the dark in Santa Rosa.
That sucks.
Yep.
I keep freaking out thinking the internet's going down again. but like, what if he wants like the entire world to be against him, and then he can summon his MAGA cult to start a civil war?
Okay, that was weird. I thought I heard voices.
He might have.
I could just be freaking out. Freaking out.
We're hearing voices. The the heater thingy is wobbling back there.
Right on. Making faces and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So, like, because what people don't realize is Trump has bypassed all normal, the entire way the president operates in modern history, which is the president's controlled by all the black suits, and all their speeches are pre-authorized for them, and everybody handles them and controls them and stuff like that. So, and he's bypassed all that. He's bypassed the mainstream, all media.
It's kind of funny how he doesn't even pay any attention to any speeches that are written. He just goes out there and just starts just blathering about fucking whatever.
Right. And he talks straight to his supporters through Twitter.
It's pretty funny.
Right. So he's talking straight through Twitter, which ironically is a CIA-owned company. So, like, it's so fascinating. Like, hey, Tanya.
Heyo.
Like, trying to figure this shit out. It's like, and our government does nothing but lie to us, and mainly to hide the truth in every way possible. So, trying to figure out what's going on in America is like trying to read fucking chicken entrails and shit. You know, it's very difficult and messy.
It would have been fun if you said tea leaves.
I like the chicken entrails. Did I tell you one time in Korea, we were at this gunnery, and there's only one gunnery range in Korea for like the tanks and the Bradleys and stuff. And every unit has an Ajumma that travels with them during field operations, which is kind of what a gunnery is. And they cook all the food for you and everything. And so...
Wait, what'd you call him?
Ajumma.
What's an Ajumma?
It's an ugly old Korean lady that drives a bongo truck with the kitchen in it.
Okay, right on.
Okay. And my platoon had this retarded Wiccan guy, and so they decided to buy a live chicken from Ajima, and they sacrificed the chicken, and they splattered its innards all over the vehicles, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And then they gave the chicken back to Ajima, and she made chicken fried rice, and then sold the chicken fried rice back to the peoples. So not only did she get the $5 for the chicken, but she made a ton of money off of making the chicken fried rice out of it afterwards. I mean, those Ajima, they're crafty like that. Hi,
What
puppy.
you doing, pretty puppy?
We got our puppy with us.
Pupper.
That puppers.
Mm.
The puppers.
How you doing?
We took him for a walk today.
Yep. He's like, I didn't really want to come out here. I made a mistake.
So, like I said, it's very difficult because of the CIA and whatnot to know anything that's actually going on in America. Oh gosh, what's going on out here? Not my circus.
Somebody else's monkey's out on the
Yeah.
loose.
But like I was saying, it's just a car coming, don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
Trump's bypassed the media. He doesn't listen to the black suits. He doesn't listen to the military commanders. In fact, anybody who doesn't like what he does, he fires. It's like, so, I mean, even what's his name, Bolton, he fired his ass. You're fired.
You're fired.
So what if he really does want to make a run for a good old-fashioned civil war, taking over, being a little dictator?
I think he's gonna just make himself king.
Well, I don't know how you could do that, but
He'd be like, okay, I'm king now.
you have to do a civil war before you can do that.
Well, you know, I'm sure the Trumpsters will be all for that.
Probably. Which is really sad because a lot of the Trump supporters are old hardcore Republican veterans and stuff, and farmers, as they claim they support the Constitution and everything.
Okay, so that's the thing. Maybe they do support the Constitution. Trump, not a supporter of the Constitution.
But they don't realize that. But they support Trump more than they care about the Constitution. You see, so I'm really thinking, we're just going to have to wait and see how things play out. But it's looking like there's a outside chance that Trump might be wanting to make a run to be his own little dictator.
He's going to make the Trumpstitution.
Worse than a staff meeting at Target. Worse than a group rally at Walmart. But that's why they're so funny, because if it wasn't for Trump, we wouldn't have known that George Washington had to cross the tarmac.
That was just before he took off to bomb the Nazis.
Yep, he flew out a dinosaur with Jesus.
It was a pteranodon.
It was one of those pterodactyl thingies.
Pteranodon.
Okay. So, oh gosh, that's Murphy. He's crying out there. You forgot me.
Are you going to go get him or me?
I guess I can. You're going to have to ramble.
Well, then I have to ramble. I don't know.
Well, do your
It's
best.
either me rambling or stumbling through the darkness.
Don't spill my soda. I'll just set it down here.
So you can spill it when you climb back in.
Yeah.
Fun. So I had to give Murphy a bath because he was itchy, partly because he needs a haircut, but it's going on winter time, and so I don't really want to cut his hair too short. So anyway, so he had a nice bath and he's all, fresh and fluffy or whatever. So yeah, there was that. And wait, where is he going? apparently he's walking to both gates. Because, I don't know. So anyway, we had to go back to the trailer today because I was out of tea. And, well, that's just not a good thing. So, I forgot where I was going with that. Damn it.
I didn't see him. He must have went back inside. Oh, goodness. So,
I saw you walking around to the different gates.
ooh. Puppy laid down.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what I was thinking. So, but I don't know. That was all I had to say about the whole Trump thing. I'm not all big on talking about Trump all the time. You can get that on pretty much any TV channel.
Trump.
You turn it on Wheel of Fortune and it's Trump. You turn on Jeopardy. I bet you there's a category for Trump.
Price is Right.
Trump.
Oh, yeah, it's fucking Trump.
Yep. You just won a Trump Tower. But have you noticed Americans have not, it's not that they're ignorant and don't know what's going on anymore. I mean, that's a given, but they don't even care. They think that America is so big and powerful that they don't even have to care about what their government does overseas anymore. They have no idea.
Well, and I do find it disturbing how mostly everybody, it seems like, just listens to what the news says and, you know, just takes it hook, line, and sinker.
I saw a new thing. Apparently, they did a new poll. Apparently. Yeah. Hey, dude. Welcome back. The boiled rope lamppost.
Right.
He was here last time.
Chickens are coming home.
Nice. But, like,
I'll bet you there'll be a lot of those Trump funeral parties.
so I've been on the internet trying to get peoples to talk about things.
Everybody should start having Trump wakes before he dies. That's funny.
But I've been trying to engage Americans in actual political conversations, and they're adamantly against having a conversation. Like, they're like, oh, off topic, can't talk about that here, or block.
Stay on topic. Our topic today is kittens.
Or if
Damn
you're
it.
on Twitter, then they just block you when you try to explain what's really going on
They're
in the
fucking
world.
kittens. So stop with that puppy talk.
Right? But this whole Kurdish thing happened, and automatically you got all these people, and it crosses party boundaries. Both, well, the right is kind of divided because they're all trying to support Trump while still trying to reconcile the whole endless war thing. But everybody's like thinks they know everything about the Kurds. The Kurds are the good guys. And that's how cartoonish American thought is nowadays, where it's just automatically, oh, the Kurds, those are the good guys. Why? Because
Those poor Kurds being, you know,
why?
held
Because
down like that.
Zero Hedge said they're the good guys, or Slate, or whatever fucking craptastic fake news thing they're reading online. Ilhan Omar or whatever. Oh, those are our allies that helped us defeat ISIS. The Kurds had nothing to do with fighting ISIS. ISIS was never in Kurdish territory. The caliphate was never in.
But see, that's it, is they
their
can
land.
just say whatever, and, you know, at least people here don't fucking know. So, you know, and they're like, yeah, okay, yeah.
The only relevance the Kurds have is they were radicalized by the CIA to try to overthrow Assad. They civil warred against their own nation. They're a bunch of traitors. And that's how the rest of the world actually sees them. Well, half of the world.
Yeah, except and then the other half's like, yeah, well, we'll make you a country.
Yeah, and kittens falling from the sweeps across the Midwest. Yeah, I know. And this cold front and the harvest never got finished. They're still out there trying to harvest, and then you got snowstorms coming down and freezes coming. Like when we were talking about the whole famine thing, it's looking like that could be an actual thing too. It could be.
Well, I guess it's good to, get ready now. Arm up and shit.
But yeah, I mean, it could totally, especially now that China decided to buy all our grain reserves right before winter. So all that shit, it's on the boats heading to China already.
Funny.
I know the dairy cows are not going to be happy this winter time.
Mhm.
If you think cheese prices are bad now, just wait. And then Trump sanctioning all of our European allies because of who knows why. He just is. He even sanctioned Costco.
Because tariffs.
Yeah. Oh gosh, it's a nightmare world we live in. Not the
Yeah.
kittens. But I mean, I've told you guys before, the Kurds, the local populations for months now, all summer, have been rioting against the fucking US-backed fucking Kurds because they're going around kidnapping everybody's childrens and conscripting them as child soldiers.
Good times.
It's fucking disgusting.
I'd say it's time for some pipe spray.
Oh gosh. Can you hear the train coming? I can. Hey, we got. Oh, hey, I remember you. 308's here. He's like me. He always has to change his name and get a new YouTube account.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
happens.
And this whole thing, I mean, even at the diplomatic level, everybody waits for the torching. We're the only YouTube channel that does the torching. They're waiting.
Working on it.
She's working on it, guys. But even at like the official diplomatic level, the U.S. is funding the Kurds, but we're also allies with Turkey because they're a part of NATO. They're a NATO ally. They're not. I don't think they're actually all the way in NATO.
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. There's the torch. There you go. There is the torching.
Yay.
But, you know, the world is not a two-dimensional simple thing. I mean, you got, like, even Russia, they're allies with China and Syria, and they're selling weapons to Turkey, which is the enemy of Syria. You should take up welding.
Sounds like fun.
Right. I don't know. I'm just. I don't understand how people can think that there's such a thing as good and bad guys when it comes to the whole geopolitical landscape, because it's not good guys and bad guys. Some nations
It's all
are
a bunch of greedy guys.
some nations are better than others at treating their their people and how they treat their people. Like right now, you want to know why Russia's so strong? Because they're actually funding a social safety net. Just like this week, Putin said he wanted to raise the fucking subsidies on single child families from 40% to 60%. So to add more families to the social safety net. He wants he's also demanding that doctors get paid better in Russia.
I don't know. That sounds pretty communist to me. I'm kidding.
Looking for the Jays. And yeah, Putin in particular,
Lots of people driving around and
Yeah.
shit.
is
The
trying to be all allies with Israel, and this is the whole thing. People trying to say that Putin's this like dictator of Russia, it just doesn't flesh out when you look at actual Russian politics. The Russian parliament totally goes against Putin on many things. He doesn't rule Russia with an iron fist. He's their chief diplomat.
He rides through Russia shirtless
Right.
on a horse.
Picking mushrooms and pressing wildflowers and stuff. But seriously, like Putin is friends with Israel, but the actual Russian government, the Russian military that's in Syria, you want to know why Israel hasn't been able to conduct so many airstrikes in Syria? Because every time the Russian military spots them on the radar, they scramble jets and they chase the Israeli jets back into Israeli airspace. Russian military is actively preventing Israel from bombing Syrian targets. All right. But yet Putin is an ally with fucking Israel. So this whole Putin is a dictator thing just doesn't even fucking flesh out. It doesn't have any resemblance to the actual reality of what's happening in the world. It's like Iran's allies and funds both Hezbollah and Hamas, but I just learned out earlier in the year that Syria is not on speaking terms with Hamas. Like at all.
They're like glaring at each other from across the
Like
room.
politically, like the Hamas military wing, the Quds force, they're operating in Syria as an ally, but the actual Hamas, the political or entity, not on speaking terms with Syria. Yeah, Iran is on diplomatic relations with both Hezbollah and Hamas. See, the world's not this fucking cartoon picture that Westerners try to paint it as.
The hell you say?
Like there's alliances and they're constantly shifting, right? Like right now, Russia wants the Kurds and the Syrian government to start talking and to settle things diplomatically. But the Syrians came out today and they're like, we're not talking to the Kurds until they're not being backed by America anymore.
Done and done.
Right. Well, they're still giving them weapons and stuff. They're just whatever. And that whole pulling out of Syria thing, again, fake. Trump didn't pull the forces out of Syria at all. And they didn't even pull them off of the border. Like right during the whole Turkish fucking air raids or air campaign to soften up the Kurds. The U.S. sent another platoon right up to one of their border posts, and my speculation is that the U.S. had some of the top ISIS generals, and they were transporting them up there to hand over to Turkey so that they could reconstitute the ISIS forces. That's my speculation. All under the cover of war. Hey, Stephen, we're doing.
So it's getting to be chilly out at night.
Very. It froze
and
last night.
It was icy last night.
Yes, it was.
Not a fun time. But at least it's not raining right now.
No.
Yay. Because that'll come sooner.
But we're going to be off the internet for a while because we're going to spend a couple of nights out at the trailer.
The poor lonely trailer.
Yeah.
We'll be all without internet.
A big empty campground.
We'll have to find more audiobooks or something because I already listened to most of the Christopher Moore book.
Or find some sexy campers to get naked with.
Maybe, but not very many to choose from right now.
I know.
pretty sparse in the camper department.
Oh, Washington State campgrounds don't use the fucking wood tables anymore. It's all that recycled plastic stuff now.
Yeah.
So,
which by the way will still melt if you put hot enough stuff on it,
Yeah.
as we've seen.
we haven't
From
done it.
not from doing it, but from other people having done something like
Right.
that.
So yeah,
They do melt.
they melt. But I don't know. Anybody have any thoughts on anything?
Hmm.
They got on. But I don't know, man. But there's a war happening, and then everybody. Oh, and I guess that would be an update in case you didn't hear. Both Russia and the U.S. blocked the United Nations Security Council vote to condemn the Turkish operation. And now, on the surface of it, the reason of it is
that wasn't Murphy barking? I don't know who that is actually.
No, it's
Is
not
that
Murphy.
Teddy?
That's Pepper, I think.
Oh.
Could be Teddy, actually. I don't know. One of those two. Why are they barking at us? Oh, well, dogs. So now, of course, the U.S. ambassador to the UN is going to veto it because Trump, covering for Trump or whatever. It would be kind of silly for the president to be like, yeah, go ahead, invade. And then you go to the UN and go, I condemn you. So just for consistency, the ambassador had to, of course, block the condemnation thingy. And then Russia blocked it too, but for totally other reasons. Like, now on the surface of it, they blocked it because, oh, wow, I don't pay attention to Cambodia so much. But
It's a holiday in Cambodia.
yes, it is. Forever. But
Where you'll do what you're told.
politically speaking, Russia also is in a tricky spot with Turkey. So I can say, but as far as the whole Kurd thing is, for one, they're like, Turkey shares a border with that part of Syria, and according to international law, border disputes are totally legal wars. And because of the PKK, they can argue a legitimate security concern. Of course, Turkey's just using that as a justification to steal more land and to genocide some people. That's just what Turkey does. But regardless, at the greater global level, Turkey has arguments that stand up in court. So the whole condemning Turkey, all they can say is, we disagree with you, and it's probably a bad idea. Wow. So now, and then Russia is allies with Syria and is helping them take their country back and end the civil war and blah, 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 all that, right? You already know about all that. So, of course, Russia's going to hold off on the whole condemning Turkey for now, because for one, it gives them political leverage on Turkey. And two, they're letting Turkey soften up the Kurds so that the SAA can go in and get some good negotiating ground with them.
Putin won't keep you warm so much.
Oh, come on. You can suckle at the seat of Putin. So you got that end of it. You also got to remember, Russia has an air base and a naval base, major bases in Syria that they have they just signed 50-year leases on them. And it's a major ship repairing place for them. And Russia uses Syria so they can maintain a naval and air presence in the Mediterranean. Now, the Mediterranean is connected to the Black Sea via the Bosphorus Straits, which is owned by Turkey. It's controlled by Turkey. It's a canal, and all fucking naval vessels have to go through the fucking canal that Turkey owns and operates. It's a major source of income for them and all that, right? So if Russia goes,
so Turkey's like the troll of the
we need a
mouth of the
geothermal
canal.
greenhouse. Well, they own both sides, the whole thing, but that's their land there. So there's that. So Russia needs to be on diplomatic relations with Turkey so that their navy doesn't have to like invade Turkey and take over the canal, just so they can get between Russia and the Mediterranean. See, that's what I'm saying. The actual shit that goes on in real life is way more messy than this whole cartoon scenario painted by the American media.
Sure.
Okay. So you got that. And not to mention, Russia sells fucking massive weapons to Turkey now because they're elbowing America out of the global arms trade and taking over. And the whole S-400 thing and all of that. So there's that. And you also got to remember America has an air base in Turkey with like a dozen nuclear fucking missiles. So the global geopolitical scenario is really fucking messy. It's not this caricature that American politicians are fucking spewing of like they good guy and those ones are the bad guys. No, that's not how the world works. There's power struggles all over the place, and everybody has these shifting alliances on all kinds of different fucking fields of interest, whether it's on the battleground or in arms trades, shipping lanes, you name it. No, Russia is actually a signatory to the I think it's the INT or something, the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, and they actually, follow the laws that they sign on to. So if you know how that all works is if you're a signatory to the Non-Proliferation Treaty, one, you're not allowed to sell nuclear weapon technology, and for two, you actually have a legal requirement as a part of that treaty to help underdeveloped nations develop non-military nuclear capabilities for power and stuff. Why are you laughing?
Because every time you say nuclear in my brain, it's screaming nuclear. It's nuclear.
No, it's just wintertime, so it gets dark later here now. It's only 8:30 or so. It's past our bedtime. Right. Oh, okay. Well, you were busy today, and we aren't going to be online for a couple of days, so we figured we'd hang out and do a thing and all of that good stuff.
Hey.
No, Russia and Iran are strong allies right now. They don't agree on everything, but they're definitely strong allies, especially in the economic realm. Iran buys all of their yellow cake from Russia for the most part. I guess not all of it, but a large part of it comes straight from Russia, which Russia buys from America. So, Russia and America, how we're like sworn enemies right now. Well, America's still selling Russia our uranium because America doesn't have any uranium enrichment facilities for weapons grade uranium. In fact, America right now currently only has one uranium enrichment facility, and they only go up to 20% to make the same kind of uranium that Iran's doing, basically. Iran, on the other hand, does have the capabilities to make weapons grade uranium. They just choose not to. So, but Iran, China, Russia, they're all allies when it comes to the whole global economics because they're trying to destabilize the America economy as the U.S. dollar. They're allies currently because they're fighting against the U.S. Dominance of the dollar. They're destroying it as the reserve currency of the world. Right. But they disagree on other things, like Russia is probably one of the only things that's keeping Iran from blasting the crap out of a whole bunch of people, like, I don't know, America. Because to be honest, if you don't know this, Iran's military capabilities when it comes to their own backyard is superior to everything America has over there. It's like they could totally fuck our shit up if they wanted to. but I'm guessing that it's Russia that's keeping them from doing so. Russia and China and stuff. And like I said, like Iran and China are allies nominally, but China just canceled like a $10 billion contract with Iran for pumping oil. And I don't know if that's because of like American shenanigans with the whole sanctions things or not, but that happened. See, the world's a messy fucking place.
Yeah.
It's,
And that's not even counting the garbage.
Yeah, exactly. That's just human shenanigans. So, I don't know. We should wrap this up and fucking take care of the dogs and stuff. Right?
I guess. I guess she either wants to go to bed or go back in, or
probably
one of either.
Can you believe the Dodgers? Wait, what was the whole thing about the Dodgers? I don't pay attention to sports. I know there's some sporting things in like the NBA and stuff dealing with, the WWE's going to Saudi Arabia. There's all kinds of weird sport things going on, but you have to get your sport news somewhere else because I don't cover sports.
Go sporting team.
Go sporting team. But I think that's about all I got for tonight. Anybody, you got anything? You guys got anything? I don't know.
I had something, but it
holy shit
is gone.
Yeah, Grand Slam pretty much will end your happy thoughts, that's for sure. If you're on the receiving end of it, of course.
Wow.
I guess it's the World Series right now, right? Or yeah.
Fuck if I know.
Wow, in the 10th. So they went extra inning there. That's interesting. I know how baseball works. I just don't watch it anymore.
I get the gist of it too.
Okay. So there you go. So we'll be back again
sometime after a couple of days or something.
Something like that.
We don't know what we're doing from when.
Larry 2020.
We're like a leaf in the fucking wind.
Yeah, pretty much. We're hanging in there. You all hang in there. Remember, be nice to your neighbors, unless they're a total fucktard, of course. Try to, I don't know. I think Americans really need to stop being so hostile towards each other, and they need to start listening, Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's my happy thoughts for the end here. I'll see you later.
Good night.